What's up everybody, welcome back. I'm Jack. Today we got another video about the MPC-1. We're going to be talking about the soul of this device, project level Q-links. Let's get into it. So let's get into it. Right now I have a beat, I like it. I think it needs a little bit more polish, a little bit more shine. Here's what it sounds like so far. So I'm pretty happy with that, but like I said, it needs a little bit more polish. I need to extend it more than just that 4-bar loop. And so I'm gonna apply the project level Q-links. There's a few different ways you can do that. The first is gonna be to hit this button right here. You can see it says Q-link edit. If you tap that twice, or alternatively, if you like holding the shift button, hold shift, hit Q-link, it's gonna bring you there. I like just double tapping that button. Brings you to the Q-links menu. So you can come here, you can click on project, you can see that I have all of these empty. We're gonna go ahead and fill these up. The way I like to do that is I like to take a row per interesting part of the song. For example, maybe this first row is gonna be the lead, maybe I have one for the bass, the snare, hi-hats, the project as a whole. If you wanna have, let's say, a delay coming in or out, or let's say a cutoff for a filter, you can apply all that here. Really almost anything on this device that you can manipulate, you can tie to the project level Q-links and really expand what you can do with the project that you're working on. So the way you want to start is you want to listen to your song and find the parts of the song that you think might be the most interesting or might need a little bit more of a lift. I like the lead on this. Right? I think that's really nice, but I think it could use something extra. So let's get into that. So what this is, it's the height plugin. We have the bend voice string pad. I've made some changes to it. But if we come here, what I'm gonna do essentially is I'm just gonna play with these settings until I find something that creates a unique effect, creates something that I think would be a lot of fun to play with as the song progresses. So let's do that. What you wanna do is just play your beat, let it just play on loop and play with these settings until you find something that's interesting. So we're here messing with the synth and I want to change to screen level Q-links. Well, rather than exiting the screen, I can actually hold the Q-link button. When I do that, you can see we have a quick menu for the Q-link settings. And so I can tap screen, let go, and I'm still on the page where I was at. This is incredibly useful. It makes the workflow much quicker on the MPC-1. So you can come down here, you can get a little bit more intricate with your Q-links and see exactly what you're changing and where. But this is amazing. Hold down that button. It's gonna speed your process up tremendously. So I've done that, I've changed to screen level. Now it's time to turn on my beat and start changing things around and see what sounds nice. All right, so I found actually a handful of things that I think are really fun. So I'm gonna show you how I want to apply them in a really quick and easy manner so I'm not messing around with the Q-link menu too much. So for example, I like the oscillator mix. I think that's a pretty neat parameter. Another one is actually the cutoff here. I think that's a pretty good one for a lead. So one way you can do this is you can go to your Q-link menu, you can go to project, and you can fiddle around here. You can see you can go with MIDI track, audio track, program. So we can go back here to plugin 1. We can go to the program and we can start searching through the parameters and find the ones we're interested in. That takes forever. It can be a little bit frustrating, so I'm not going to do that. Let me show you the much better way to do this. So I'm on this page. What I can do is I can hold down that Q-link button. I can go to project, and you see here there's a learn button. If you hit that learn button, you can see it highlights one of these pads, right? If I turn another one, you can see it jumps. I turn that one, it jumps. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn the knob that you want to change. I've done that here, and then just tap on the parameter, just give it a turn. You see I went to 49 and back to 50, and now if we look here, you can see that lives there now. Let's say I wanna do the next one. Well, turn that pad, go to the cutoff, change it up real quick, and you can see now I've set both of those. When you're done, you wanna turn learn back off, because you can see if I left that on and started messing with other parameters, now this is reverb. I don't want that. So I'm gonna put it back on cutoff. I'm going to hold that button down. I'm going to turn learn off. And now I've got those two living in my project level Q links. So those are pretty neat. I like the LFO depth. That's a pretty neat thing. So I'm going to add that on now. So turn learn back on. I'm going to tap that third Q link. I'm going to turn the depth knob. Now that lives there as well. Another one I thought was pretty neat is the pumper. Another really nice one. So once again, I'm going to tap learn, make sure I'm on that pad or on that Q link knob, hit the depth one, give it a turn. Now I've got 4 really nice effects that I can apply to the lead. Let me show you what these might sound like if I play with them a little. You can see already we have a lot of variety that we can apply to this simple 4-bar loop. So we're going to keep on going now. I think I'm pretty happy with what I have for the lead. I'm going to start messing with my drum pads. One that I think is kind of plays an important role here would be the snare. So what I'm going to do, if you hear that sound right there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that snare. So we're going to go to our drums. And one, if you forget which pad it was, I used one of the pre-made kits, the R&B Ballad Ready kit. Sounded pretty neat, but I'm not sure exactly what lives where. So if you hit the program edit button, you can hit play and you can see which pads light up when, and it'll tell you which one you're looking for. You see that pad 2's lighting up every time the snare hits. So I know that's the one that I want to play with. So I'm going to hit that. And once again, you're just going to go through and find what sounds neat. So I'm going to do that real quick and I'll get right back to you. All right, so I've found 4 things that I think are interesting for the snare. Really, it's just the semitune, the pan, and if we go over to the effects, it's pretty fun to mess with the ring modulator and the decimator. So let's add those real quick and I'll show you just how quick this process can be. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to go to learn. Oh, make sure you're on project level. Click on that second row, and I'm just going to hit the semi, give it a little turn, hit the pan, make sure I'm on that second one, give it a little turn. You can see now I have layer 1 semitune and I got layer 1 sample pan. If we go to the effects, we're going to tap on over. I'm going to still on learn, so I'm going to go to this third one, turn the ring modulator, turn the 4th knob, turn the decimator. You can see I've already filled all 4 of those. So now I have 4 different parameters I can play with my lead, 4 different parameters I can play with my snare. And so let's hear what that snare sounds like. All right, pretty neat. Now, one thing I'll show you, if you change things around and you don't like how it sounds, it's pretty easy to fix. All you're going to do is hold down that Q-link button and just keep tapping undo until you stop seeing those parameters change. So I'm just going to tap, just keep rapid fire tapping that. At some point, they're going to stop. Now I'm changing other things. So just hold down shift, keep tapping until you get back to there. You can see right there that the hertz changed on my ring modulator. So I'm just gonna hit undo one more time, and now I've reset everything. That way you can see it sounds exactly like it did before I started playing. Right? Really easy to undo the things that you do with your Q links, as long as you know that trick. So I've got 4 different parameters on my lead. I have 4 different ones on my snare. I've got that rim shot sound in the beat. I'll show you that. It's almost playing the role of the hi-hat in this this beat. I think that might be really good to have some parameters on, so I'll play with that. I've highlighted it, and let's have some fun here and see what I can find. All right, I found 4 parameters for this rimshot sound. Go ahead and load them up real quick. So we're going to go to project level. I'm going to make sure I'm in that 3rd row, and I'll tap on that, tap learn. And what I like was actually semi again, so I'm going to turn that, hit knob 2. I like pan. And now for the effects, this one actually is pretty neat with the ring mod as well, but it can get kind of intense. So I'm going to add the gain in addition. So let's make sure I'm in the right place. I want to be here and hit ring, give it a turn, hit that 4th knob, hit gain, give that a turn. And you can see I've added 4 parameters there as well. Made a little mistake here. I'm going to leave those. Now, if you put something that you don't want there and you don't want anything there, you can actually go here to the Q-Link menu, go to project, click the thing you don't want, hit reset. You can see those are gone now. Another little quick tip. So now we've messed with that. I'll show you what this sounds like. I think it's pretty neat. So we'll go to project level, make sure I'm in my 3rd row, and let's play around. I think that's kind of fun. Now, obviously, you're going to want to play around, find the things that work for you. I'm just kind of grabbing some quick ones. But really, at the end of the day, what you're going to have are 16 different parameters that apply to anything you want in that song. And it's going to give you a lot of freedom for just performing your song, finding things that sound good, but also it's going to make it quick to add automation to your song, which when you're turning a 4-bar loop into, let's say, a 60, that's going to be very useful. Now for this last one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually apply things to, let's say, the entire drum rack. And there's a fun way to do that. So if you don't know, if you go to track mix right here, we have sub mixes. And what I've done here is I've actually sent the drums. So if we look here, you can see that my drums go to sub mix 1. If we go to track 2, that's my lead, that's going to sub mix 2. If we go to my bass line, that's sub mix 3. You can see I've got some things here. I was playing around with the bass because I wanted more parameters to add that I could play with. And it actually ended up making my song much better just because I was hunting for project level Q links. Let me show you what I did here. If you listen to the bass now, you can hear it in the background. It sounds like this. Fills the space in the song, but it could be a little bit more interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these all on. And because I have a lot of things like the fuzz, the distortion, it needs to be turned down quite a bit, but I think you'll agree that it's a very unique aspect of the song now. So you can see that plays a pretty interesting role in my song now. Prior to messing with my project level Q links, it was a pretty basic thing. It was just the baseline plugin. I used the Thump 2 preset that I had changed around a little bit. And while I was hunting for parameters, I noticed that there really wasn't much that would change the interest of the baseline. So what I did was I went to my inserts and I added some inserts to see if I could find something that would create some interest in the bass line. And really, I kind of found a combo that really on its own enhanced and uplifted the song. So even though I didn't add anything to the project level Q links, just the search alone improved, I think, the song dramatically. So let's keep going. As I was talking about when I got into that little sidetrack is the submixes. So what I have now is I have different submixes for different parts of the song. The bass is in submix 3, the lead is in submix 2, and my drum kit is in submix 1. So if we look at the submixes, you can see that I've made some changes here. Really, usually what I do is I'll add the air para EQ, because you can do a cutoff, both a high and a low cutoff, and you can also do some EQing. And so that's a really nice thing to add. But if we look here at my drum kit, I was messing around and added this air half speed. Now, this I think is really interesting. So I'll show you what I can do here. So if we go in and I start my song, listen to the drums. You see how that adds an extra layer to the drums? So I liked playing with obviously the on off for this effect, but the loop length and the mode are pretty interesting too. So let's go ahead and just add those to our project level Q link. So going back to project, I'm gonna go to learn, I'm gonna click on those Q link buttons. The top one, I just wanna be start and stop. And then we have loop length. And finally, mode. Oh, there we go. You can see if I turn that off, I have on, off, loop length, and mode. So now if I wanted to play with that, all I would have to do is start the song, start turning knobs. Pretty neat. I like that a lot. So the last thing I think I'm going to add is just a way to kind of pan my drums down. So two different ways I could do this. I'm on my drum track. Make sure you're on the track right here. Oh, keep hitting that. Not the pad, not the master, right here for the entire kit. And what you can do is you can go to your project level Q links, go to learn, make sure you're on that last knob, and you can actually turn the master volume. And you see that lives there right now, so that's what this would sound like. So that can be pretty nice. Now, another way that's nice to do this, if you don't want something so extreme, is you can go to something like your submix. So for example, here on my drum submix, I have this air para EQ. And if we go to the high-low cutoff, you can see I've got a relatively high dB. So 18 dB, I think it goes up to 24. Pretty extreme. 18 is pretty good. But what you can do is you can actually go to your project level, hit that knob, and if you turn this frequency right here, you can see that now I have that on here. And so that's kind of a different way to pan your sounds out. So let's listen to that. You can see how that's pretty nice. Now that we have our project level Q-Link set up, there's a few things you can do. Obviously, I've shown you that you can do performance on this. You can just play around with your song. But another nice thing is if you go here, you can see I have a 4-bar loop. Now that gets kind of repetitive. Obviously, you can sit here and turn knobs and make it more interesting. But if you click on this pencil icon, you can double the length. Now I've got an 8-bar loop. And so I can do some interesting things. Like, let's say if I go to that that sound right there, what I can do is there's two ways to do this. You can hit this button up here. That's now reading automation for any knobs that I turn. I don't like doing that. I like to just do shift automation because then I can see that this is red. Now you don't even have to hit record. Things will start changing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. I'm going to hold this down so I can see what I'm changing and start turning knobs. Now you can see when this starts over, it's going to start playing that automation back. So let's take a look at that. There it goes, right there. You can see that really just diving into your project level cue links will immediately improve the quality of your song. You'll find different aspects that you like. For example, I like my bass a lot more now after I started searching for good project level cue links. I can add interest to my drum kit. Obviously, my lead is a lot more interesting and textural now. And that's really just because I was searching for 16 different parameters that I wanted quick access to. Now, once again, you can go here to the cue link menu. This, you can see there's a lot of different things you can do, but what I like to do is just hold down that cue link button, and that learn button can be very interesting. In fact, you'll find out what the limitations of the device are. For example, if we were to go to, let's say, that sound there, what I found out is if you look at the samples, let's say I wanted to stretch this and change the stretch percent over time, you can see if we go to the project level cue links, let's go here to the last one. I have this knob set, but if I turn the stretch amount, you can see it didn't change anything in my project level cue link. So now I know that this is not a parameter that I can apply the cue links to. So learn a little bit more every day using that method, but you'll find really interesting and unique things you can do, and you'll find things that maybe you wish you could do, or once again, limitations to the device. I think that there really aren't that many limitations to this device. You can see that the project level cue links are an amazing part of what can be done with an MPC One. And I hope that was pretty helpful. Once again, this shortcut here, holding down that button, that's very helpful. Obviously, switching back to screen, that's something you want to do, especially if you're already on a screen that you want to play around in without having to dive out. Using this button right here, go back in, find where you were. You can just hold that button, change to what you want, pad scene, pad parameter, program project, whatever you want. And you have access to that learn button, which is very useful. So with that, I'm going to end this video. I hope it was useful. I hope you have some fun diving into these aspects of the MPC One. And as always, enjoy your day, make some fun music, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.